Welcome back, everybody. You can hear us both. Yes, okay, good. There we go.
What's
Austin's in
up?
chat. Gerald's in chat. You've got 12 of my burner accounts in the chat. No,
Finch is in chat.
Finch is in chat. Welcome back to another great, well, I don't know if this is great, but this was a huge win for the Timberwolves, where they beat the Indiana Pacers 100-98, really 196 because they got this that layup at the end. It doesn't count. But headshots
You're right.
right.
You're right.
Wolves back. The Wolves.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, we're back, but like, were we ever there?
Did we ever leave?
No. This is, and I was telling my dad on the way home. This is the most enjoyable Timberwolves experience of a season that I have had ever. More than Jimmy Butler, more than some of the Zach LaVine. I mean, obviously, not that we had any success with Zach LaVine, Wiggins, and Towns, but I love that team. I am having way more. Yeah, what are we? What seed are we right now? We are the 6th seed. Oh, yeah. Baby.
According to Wolves Got Next Twitter Space Live. I don't know why I was there. I was waiting for you. I was longing for you, and I was like, can I find some content out there that's at least half decent?
Nope. I haven't been there.
Actually, I mean, I shouldn't be, dogging anyone. Wow. Not an incredible game, but definitely one that we would lose 100 times out of 100 in previous years, previous
for sure.
Squads, previous versions of ourselves. A former version of ourselves this season would have lost this game, probably considerably. Okogie, as JJ spelled out here in chat, kind of gave us like a rookie Okogie impression. That rookie block on James Harden, like that flashback that saved my season that year. That was such a terrible year. And that block just saved me. And that block just saved the team from a potential embarrassing loss. Where we were, we had our stars. We weren't fully healthy, but we had our stars, and they were missing a couple people, notably Miles Turner. This game proves that we can win while hurt, win while being hurt, win while grinding out an ugly game where we are shooting the way we shot tonight.
No, exactly. And that was kind of my thinking, is that this is a huge win, not because we played so well, because obviously there's lots of things to nitpick at this game. We will nitpick at them. But, I mean, this was a gutty win to come out here without Vando, who has really won you a majority of your last, like, 5 or 6 games. I mean, obviously saved D'Lo, Ant for some moments, Towns for some moments, but, like, Vando has been the player every night that is making us win. And to have him be out and have Jaden be out, I was kind of hopeful that if one of them was out, one of them would stay in. Even though I'm not the highest on Jaden, he's still a bigger body, or a taller body for us, that can kind of play that role of Vando. And, we didn't really have anybody out there, so we had to rely on Josh. We had to rely on Torian, who I am slowly gaining confidence in Torian. Josh, I love Josh, but like seeing him take threes in this game is kind of painful. Given
it was
they're
terrible.
Open.
It
they're
was
open.
terrible, but he was open for a fucking legit reason.
He was. And then mercifully, that last three, we get the offensive rebound, and Beasley's wide open for a hashtag Arby's 3. So
Arby's 3. I don't think it was a 12-3. We only got to 10.
No, it wasn't. But it was one.
We got to 9. No, we didn't get to 10.
Yeah, we didn't even break. Oh, and actually, yeah. So I bet Dave Benz was going crazy on the broadcast about that, because he's been talking over the past few games about how we have scored, I think, 10 threes every game or something like that.
Yeah. Except for tonight.
So Dave Benz. Speaking of which, me and Maddie and my dad all saw people walking out of the arena. Side note. I was at the game again tonight. Ashwin was at home watching the game, so you'll have 2 perspectives tonight, which is always kind of nice, but also late, so apologies for that.
And I missed the first half, so apologies for that.
That's okay. The first half was good and bad. We'll get to it later. But I saw Jim Pete and Dave Benz walking together on First Avenue across the street, basically holding hands.
Making out.
And then I also saw the 2 in-arena hosts, the guy and the lady. Both of them walked out in our parking garage, and then we saw Marnie walk right by us during the game. So we got, are
you in the Go ahead.
They've got the whole experience tonight. The whole Fox Sport, or no, excuse me, Bally Sports North.
Did you find the VIP garage?
Apparently. I mean, this is the one that my dad likes to go to just because like it's better than the other ramps. But
the other ranch.
There's other ramps. We call them ramps.
Ranch.
Other people call them garages.
Yeah.
Some people call them garbage. No.
John, I think is his name.
Yes.
John had a I Love Minnesota shirt on.
Did he?
And it was I Love
one?
Minnesota, the D-Lo tweet.
Yes.
The D-Lo tweet.
They still sell that in the store. I saw it on their Cyber Monday deals.
There's only a few people that have ever said that in the world, and that was one of them. So you got to put on a shirt, you know.
Yes. Man, let me tell you. So the game tonight, being at the game.
Yeah, tell me about
it. The
it.
first half was not the best basketball. When we first came out of the gates, I thought it was going to be a blowout win, which was not something I was expecting. I actually thought for the first like 2-3 minutes or so, maybe it was only 2, but it felt like we were gonna be really, really good tonight. And I was like not expecting that. Coming into this game, I expected us to do the Timberwolves for like kind of play down to the team's level, even though their record isn't that much lower than us, and have a close game or even lose by a lot. I was kind of expecting that. We've just had 2 gutty wins against the Sixers and the Heat, which are huge games for us. Yep. And to come into this game where it's really not that important, I wasn't sure how Target Center was going to be. The crowd was ready to burst from the tip. We won the opening tip, and the crowd was like cheering.
What are you talking about?
Pause. No, but no, the crowd was ready all night. And when we started getting going in the third quarter, things were loud. And I was in like an interesting spot in the arena. I was lower bowl, probably my last lower bowl game of the season because we're going to get too good. But I was sitting kind of in an angle behind the basket. You could look at my Twitter. I posted like a video or maybe just a picture. But really interesting spot to see all the plays develop. And I kind of wish that we were there. Or I wish that we sat in those spots more often because it's almost more interesting than sitting center court. But yeah, it sounded loud in the arena. The crowd was so into it, especially in our section. How did it sound on TV, and how did it come across?
It's a fucking Monday, man. I don't understand what's going on.
Yeah,
it's a Monday. Usually these are fucking like Target Center is usually a parking lot.
Yeah,
I don't know, man. A library, a parking ranch. I don't know. In the arena, I thought it was from the broadcast. I thought it was pretty cool. I don't know. Like I'm hearing mostly my own screams and shouts. So it's hard for me to actually get that in-game experience. But yeah, I don't know. We got a couple of good lines from Dave Benson tonight, but let's kind of talk about the game. Like coming into tonight, according to Cleaning the Glass, look at me reading some stats. Articles online. The Wolves are currently 3rd in the NBA in percentages of shots from the corner 3, yet we don't fucking take them.
Yeah, that's true.
Wolves are 1st in the NBA in percentage of shots from 3, not just corners and threes. And Wolves are 2nd in the NBA in percentage of shots coming from the 3. I think we take, next to Golden State, the most threes per game. And I think Indiana's in the bottom 10 teams in the league of doing that. So we should have outshot them, and we did ourselves no favors from 3 tonight.
Yeah. No, we did not. We only made 9 of how many? 35? Is that true?
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. Yeah, that was not good, and it felt that way at the arena.
You know what we are? You know what we are though? We are 10th in ISO plays and 8th in points per possession during those ISO plays.
I think that's super important.
Yeah, I think it's telling because we are top 10 in both categories, and we're only one of 2 teams, the other team being the Brooklyn Nets.
Interesting. Well, I think I was kind of saying this on the way home. You know, the ISO ball gets annoying at times, especially late game.
Totally.
And late game for us tonight, it was not executed well.
Not good.
We were turning the ball over. Towns was holding on to it forever. The crowd was screaming at Towns to like do something. The crowd started screaming at like 6 seconds, and they were like ready. They were like, go, go, go. And luckily he made one of them, and it's just like a miraculous shot.
It was a terrible fucking shot, though.
Yeah,
oh my God.
It was crazy, but he had to take it because he forced himself into that shot. And but you know, other than the plays tonight late in the game, having these ISO plays, having these isolation players is going to be huge, assuming, which at this point, I mean, I think we can all pretty confidently say the the floor for us should be play-in game this year. With how the West looks, with how we're playing, it should be the floor. And we should be playing some meaningful games come April or May. Depending, I guess I don't even know when the playoffs actually happen. I think it's April. But it's going to be huge because in the playoffs, what happens? You get a lot of iso ball, and you have to have these D'Lo shots that he was making in Philadelphia. You have to have Ant driving and dunking over these players and just beating them. You also have to have Towns do that to some extent too, because Towns, he was able to successfully blow by Sabonis a couple times tonight, and that other dude, 88, I can't remember. He did try to throw in that ridiculous dunk, but he was able to blow by a couple times and beat players, and he was playing pretty well in the post tonight. But beginning of the game, but yeah, those are going to be hugely important. It's not like in season having ISO plays doesn't feel as good. It's not like we're still kind of learning it, which is okay. And if we can win games while we're playing that way, then I'm very excited come playoff time. Very excited.
It's a complete identity shift, culture shift, a mentality to win at all costs and do the work. That's not necessarily with the ball in your hands. Like, how many players coming into the draft are saying, I'm going to do the dirty work and get the wins that way? No, they want their fucking 30, 10, and 5. They want their double-doubles. They want their stats on, top 10 plays of all night, of the night or whatever. They want all that because that accolades, brings in sponsorships, brings in, potential contracts. These guys are kind of finding themselves in this weird, like, next era, new Wolves order of play, where the NWO, I just made that a thing, which I probably I wrote down to say. I feel like
oh my god,
the grittiness is actually our default. Shooting's going to happen, and we're going to miss shots, and that's going to be a thing for us because we are so inept at distribution. We're just kind of ISO heavy. Distribution will come in waves, but we're not basing our offense in like a really easy flowing offense right now. Our offense is kind of who's on right now, like who can get us going, and then can we get transition, right?
Yeah.
Our defense is keeping us in literally all of these games. In a game when we don't really have anyone really popping off, we were up by whatever we were. Like, we were down by 11 at one point, but we were up by 7 at some point. Like, we can win these games now. And I'm more confident than I was prior to the season starting, because I thought we were going to be an all offense, no defense with like attempts, right? With attempts of trying.
Yeah, no, I did too. Coming into the season, we heard rumors of Ant's defense, but we didn't expect it to be what it actually has turned out to be, which is, I mean, it's come and gone throughout the season, but for the most part, it's really been there, especially from our expectations from last season. D'Lo defense has been a new thing that we've been very excited about. But yeah, no, it's been crazy. Sorry, I'm reading chat. And Six is back. Welcome back,
What
Six.
up, Six?
He's a Hornets fan. And he came back for the Hornets game, and he just keeps coming back. I guess we're good enough.
Hornets fan or Sixers fan? Oh, whatever.
I believe it's Hornets.
The zone bothers us. Like, we couldn't get anything flowing offensively, and the zone just made us chuck a bunch of shots and miss a bunch of shots. And Brogdon and LeVert and Duarte are like not shabby on defense, and they're their rebounding percentage is top billing in the league because fucking Sabonis can get whatever the fuck he wants. Incredible output from people like Ant, D'Lo, Okogie, the others. Just trying to compete with the bigs of Indiana, just rebound wise. It was so fun to see. And Ant nearly got a double-double. D'Lo got his first double-double of the season, almost a fucking triple-double.
Yeah.
And Okogie, like, playing bigger than his role. Like, I am such a shout out to him because he's out of the rotation. He is in street clothes. He is literally watching, and he's game ready. Like, how incredible is that?
I mean, it's crazy. I think having all the players that we had on the bench tonight, it's just crazy to see us win a game like this. It's hard to believe, even though we're talking about the Pacers. This is still just, these are the games that you expect as a Timberwolves fan to lose because you have those missing players like Patrick Beverley, you have those missing players like Vando, and to outperform that and win
Right.
is just, I mean, it's just massive. It's just massive.
So, Towns led maybe the NBA in points tonight, but he also led the NBA in turnovers tonight, almost doubling the second highest. Bam Adebayo with 5. Karl almost had a double-double with turnovers. That's a James Harden Westbrook special. It's ugly. It's ugly when he's trying to do something that's not catch and shoot. It's ugly when he's trying to get a big in foul trouble or try to post up someone that maybe is a little bit, smarter than the average defender. It's amazing when he's playing with intuition and not instincts. Like there's a bit of a difference. Like the basic form of offense is like get a post up, get a hook shot, get a be bigger than the role of the defender. And he was doing that early in the third quarter. And then he went away from that in the fourth. He completely was a shell of himself in the fourth quarter. And I fucking hated it. And I was so mad. And he's going to get us in trouble. But despite that trouble, we won this game. He's going to get us into potential games that we should have won, will win, should win in losses because Towns is not playing to the good capabilities that we are expecting and relying on. He was one of the only guys going.
Yeah, it was,
and he got himself out of the fucking game. And it's like, what? Like Ant, made Jimmy his father.
Yeah.
Ant was the father. I don't know what I'm trying to say. Like D'Lo took Embiid, and like Okogie took, Indiana tonight, or Duarte at least.
Yeah.
Like where's Cat right in this? Right, like Cat is performing really well, shooting lights out.
Yes.
But he's still like so turnover prone. It's so unreliable.
Exactly like you were saying. He puts us in great positions in situations because he is that crazy skilled of a player that he can take over this team. He can. I mean, he could have been in there in the fourth quarter and made this not a close game and taken over with 6 minutes, 5 minutes, 4 minutes, whatever it may have been. But he has these plays that he just doesn't still understand. He still doesn't know how to use his elbows. Given that that offensive foul against Sabonis was questionable. I mean, it was definitely a foul, but he was also going for the ball. He's just got to keep his elbows a little bit in. Also, can't lose the ball on the way up. And then, 2, he has these double teams where he's doing over the back passes still. Like, I don't know what we're thinking. What is your mindset when that happens? That drives me crazy. And it's like one thing if he did that a few times in the beginning of the season. We're 20 games in. We're 21 games in.
Yep.
Shout out KG. Well, we need better decision making at this moment in time. It just is. That's unbelievable to me. And not to mention the 6 fouls. We can't do that. Quick shout out. Anybody that's new here, leave a like on the stream. I forgot to do that in the beginning, so now everybody has to do it. Sorry. And then if you're new here, subscribe to the channel. Also, I have to give a huge shout out to Pat Bev Mentality on Twitter. They shared our stream out to their Twitter. I appreciate you. Shout out.
Oh man, good for you.
I appreciate
Shout out to Timberwolves Daily. I don't know if they're here right now, but Connor runs a good show. He shouted us out earlier tonight, and he's moving on up in the top tier echelon of Wolves content. That's awesome.
Definitely. We can only aspire to be as good as is it Connor or Cooper?
Shit. Maybe both.
Maybe it's both.
I think it's Connor.
Cooper.
Shit,
Either way.
It's Cooper.
Either way, it's Timberwolves Daily. So I appreciate it. But yeah, no. Almost at 100 subs. I know, right? 6. We've kind of gained a lot over the last little bit. We just started 2 years ago, so year and a half ago. So we're doing all right.
Yep.
But overall, though, the big 3 came to play for the most part. We had Edwards, Russell, and Towns, which we needed. We needed that to happen tonight, and it happened. So, obviously, looking at the starters, Josh Okogie and Taurean Prince only combined for 2 points. So, we needed the big 3 to do something, and they did. Had Nas come in, which was huge. Got a little worried about him at a point where he got injured. But yeah, no. Shout out me trying, dude, headshot. I was kind of nervous. I was like, please do not have Towns go to our YouTube channel. Me and Headshot were in, and probably, I think Mass Dexter was there. He was doing a Twitch and YouTube stream last night where he was reacting to some like videos and talking about giveaways. Yeah, doing giveaway stuff. And Headshot's like, oh, react to the Built from Day One show. And I was like, please do not have him react to me talking about trading him.
Oh my God.
But I guess that any press is good press. So I would have taken it. But
let's get into the tier list.
Let's get into the tier list. You're right. We're already 23 minutes in. Holy cow. Tier list. Oh, it's not
The
there.
Wolves,
Oops.
the Wolves and Pacers are league leaders in steals per game.
Oh
But
yeah.
we're polar opposite in assist drives. When we drive, it's usually ISO drives. It's Cat driving. It's Ant driving. It's D'Lo driving for himself. They're
Yes.
one of the league leaders in passing on drives, and then we saw that tonight in droves. Like the mid range was basically butter for them.
Mm-hmm.
It's incredible how we turned up the intensity and the effectiveness on defense in the second half, because it looked like box score wise we were kind of sluggishly kind of like churning through the game, trying to find a rhythm, trying to see who's coming to play. And like, you know, Cat wasn't there in the first quarter, for instance, and we didn't have anyone really in a flow, but we kept it within like striking distance early, and that's great when we can like not have a system, like not have a flow offensively, and it could easily blow in a 20-point game, 20-point lead easily against any team.
Yep.
It's nice to see that we could kind of, you know, grind out those early quarter woes, early game woes with defense, and then find a rhythm late, like we did in the third quarter with Cat, and then the fourth quarter with Ant, and then the closeout with D'Lo.
Yeah, definitely. Sorry, I was not ready for the tier list. I did not
I know,
have
that's
it
why I'm
made out.
talking.
I appreciate your talking. That helped me so much. I was able to do everything, get the highlights and all. So I appreciate you. And wow, we did see some Jalen Noel minutes tonight. Holy cow. All righty. Well, let's kind of play the same games that we've been doing where we, for the lesser players, I guess there weren't that many, but we'll do Noel, Balmero, Reed, and Beasley. We'll just do the same thing where we count down, do our cute little grading system. So
That's very cute.
first, and chat, you can participate. You guys were doing great the other night, so participate, please. But we're going to start with Jalen Noel. So Jalen Noel, I'm getting my grade ready. Yeah. I am ready.
All right, go.
All right, 3, 2, 1, C.
C. All right, we don't have to talk about him.
Did you say C?
Yeah.
Okay, good. Yeah, I think.
Also, shout out Keelan Martin getting significant time for the Indiana Pacers.
Yes.
Guarding Cat. Thank you for guarding Cat.
Yeah. Hey, actually, the Pacers, for once, Jim Pete's been talking about this every game. He's like, I don't know why bigs, or maybe it isn't Jim Pete, maybe it's Dane Moore. I don't know. Either way, somebody's talking about how there's like no team is taking on the challenge of putting a small on Towns because he can't handle it. Everybody keeps putting on their slow bigs, and Towns is able to just cook them right off the bat. And then they change up in like the third quarter, maybe fourth quarter, which is when Towns starts struggling. Teams still haven't figured that out. But tonight, he did. Anyways, we'll get on
it out.
Yeah, we'll get on to Towns later in a second. Next up, Leandro Balmaro.
Sure.
All right.
I'm ready.
Ready? All right. 3, 2, 1. C
B.
plus. Oh,
so the reason why I say B, and we're pretty much at the same grade, is just because he's there to spell minutes for D'Lo. He did nothing wrong. He did everything kind of stable. He didn't have to force any shots, and grabbing 5 rebounds, especially that one in like the trees of Bitsatse and whatever late in the game.
Yeah,
or like
that's true.
Mid fourth quarter. I mean, that's a possession for us. We won by 2, right? Like. That's awesome. Like that was like when we had Okogie out there getting really grindy on defense. Ant, Okogie, and Leandro, we're not really missing anything offensively. Maybe, you know, playmaking is kind of more in Ant's favor and not in, you know, Leandro's favor. But Leandro's like pesky on defense, and he's getting 5 rebounds in his limited time. Pretty okay for me. I'm not too worried about that.
I'm really excited for him.
He's here to stay, I think, because. Like while he's getting the Beverly minutes, which is, you know, warranted, well, we need someone. He's also taking McLaughlin out of the equation, and it's like addition by subtraction, right?
Totally. 100%. Yes, I am so honestly. There's almost nothing Balmaro could do on the court that would make me mad because it's less McLaughlin minutes right now, and that is definitely what we need. We cannot. McLaughlin's a person that you have on your team when things are not going well. And right now we need to capitalize on all of the success that we've had early this season. Even though it's only 1 game over 500, we can't be having these missed plays, another non-shot maker with not that much defense. We definitely can't have that. They have to play defense.
No more. No more of those. Yep.
Yeah. Anyways, so you said B for him tonight?
Yeah.
I'll go up to a B just because we won, and I love
right
Leo. So all right, who's up next?
You know, Naz Reid, Beasley. You want to do them together, or are they separate category? Together, because we talked about it. We
Yep.
waited too long
Yep.
for an answer. Okay. I'm ready. Are you?
I am ready.
All right.
3, 2, 1. C.
C. Yep.
Okay.
Beasley didn't do anything fancy,
yep.
but he got that late 3. That's all. That's awesome. Also, he took 7 shots. They were all threes. That's awesome.
Mm-hmm.
He tried to drive a couple times late, shot clock situations, and that's not great. But he got 7 fucking rebounds. Fuck yeah, I'm all about that.
Mm-hmm.
Naz Reid, 13 points. We are, he's spelling minutes for Cat. Yes, he's kind of trying to replicate Cat in like the offensive system, as Finch has even said, like they're basically the same player out there sometimes. But he didn't do anything wrong, really. He was just kind of, a team high plus 20. So maybe he's a B tech category.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't know. Like, I think he deserves more minutes when Cat is like kind of playing the way he did in the fourth quarter. But combined, maybe Beasley and Nas should be probably C plus, B minus.
Yeah, I don't know why I put Jalen ahead of him. I actually do kind of agree with Jelson in the chat, and I guess maybe JJ too.
Yeah.
And
as I said it out loud, I was like, maybe he's better.
Yeah, because he had a bunch of good drives tonight. He had a few nice dunks.
Let's just go fucking A. I don't know what's wrong with me. Sorry about that. We won.
A?
Fuck it.
I don't know if it was A.
I don't know, man. I don't know.
We'll do B plus. I do think that I still agree with Beasley being a C. We probably need more shot making out of him. Not that he was terrible tonight. He had 7 rebounds, which he has to have some good rebounds too to make up for Vando. But
well, Chad is setting us straight, honestly, because I think
we
were trying to speed up. Well, saying that he's way higher than a C.
Yeah. Okay. Good. Thank you, Chad. Keeping us honest. I appreciate
B plus.
it.
I love that. Yeah.
B plus. All right. We're on to the starters. And actually, well, no, we can't lump Torian Prince and Josh Okogie together. So Torian Prince, you want to just do the same 3, 2, 1 for Torian Prince?
Yeah.
Okay. 3, 2, 1.
D.
Yeah. I almost went D. I was very close. It was just kind of an all over nothing game. He had a few rebounds. He did actually have a really nice block at a point, which I had a perfect angle at. So that was kind of cool. I guess that's why I say
oop to Ant.
He did have the oop to Ant, which that one wasn't as clean as some of the other dunks tonight, but still.
Yeah.
I think I don't want to give him a D just because he had to fill in for some things. So my reasoning is maybe a C. I said C, right? Or did I say D? I don't know.
You said C. I said D.
Okay.
And so that's fine. Go ahead.
I think C makes sense for him. Is that all right?
Yeah, I don't know why I'm so negative. I should stop being so negative.
Hey, it's just in our genes.
Headshot saying the highlights aren't playing. I think the highlights are, but they kind of go in and out.
I know.
And we're trying to fix that, and time. It takes some effort.
You guys got to sub so that I can get a new PC, because this PC is literally a $6 PC. I'm not joking. But just kidding. Your subs won't make me buy a new PC. But but anyways, on to the top 4 players of the night. Who do you want to do first?
Let's do Ant.
Ant, okay, nice.
Yeah.
All right, well, Ant, I'm going to read off his stats because he's actually got some notable stats tonight. He had 21 points, 9 rebounds, needed those rebounds tonight, 5 assists, 3 steals. He's back on his 3 steals games. I think he's had a ton of 3 steal games this year.
Dude, he's been fantastic defensively, man. He's owning his own. He's not like he's not like a scapegoat for the offensive player to be like, let's switch, Okogie to Ant. Like, I saw that several times in the fourth quarter. Let's get a grade going here first.
All right, you ready to 3, 2, 1?
Yeah.
3, 2, 1. A minus.
Ooh, why am I so negative tonight?
Yeah, you're surprisingly negative tonight. So my reasoning behind him being an A instead of a B is first half he definitely was lower and not even a B. I mean, he was just non-existent. He's been doing this frequently throughout the season. But then he shows up in that third and fourth quarter when it matters most. And he really shows up. It's like massive moments, swing of the crowd moments. It's not like how like Wiggins or Levine would start to like make, I know I keep using them as examples, but like how they would like make a 3 and it would be kind of exciting. No, it's like monumental changing moments in the game, and he did that late third, early fourth, and brought us back. He just brought us back, and he when he gets in that mode, other teams get scared and they have to adjust, which helps our other players make plays. It helps D'Lo make plays. It helps Beasley make plays. I think it's just so crucial. Not to mention his defense is always quite good. He didn't have any blocks tonight. He did have 3 steals, and and he just had a lot of huge plays tonight. It definitely was not an A1 night for me. I mean, this isn't the game that I'm going to remember years to come, but obviously, I think a very, very good game from Ant.
Yeah. Almost 40 minutes, as JVX said, he played a lot of minutes, so the highest minutes in our team. 0 turnovers, which is like a revelation. Please keep that up.
Seriously.
And 21 points for kind of not having a great offensive night is not too shabby. He picked his spots in that third quarter and was basically the momentum that carried us into like a very, very aggressive defensive fourth quarter. It was awesome to see that. At one point, they only had like 30 points for the half, and we were like almost at like 94, 95 points. Then they came kind of roaring back for a bit. But okay. Ant was aggressive, but not finishing through contact. Yes. Even though he went to the line a bunch, he wasn't finishing. And I think he was just kind of, he didn't have the legs that he typically has, or he didn't have the wherewithal to kind of go around players. And honestly, credit, Indiana with their zone really struggling, really, affecting Ant. 2 for 7 from 3. Like, I hate the fact that, teams chuck generally now, players just chuck, but like, I don't like the numbers 2 for 7, 2 for 8, but like, it is technically better than going like 1 for 10 from 2, right? So, or like 3 for 10 from 2. Yeah. So, like he's kind of cut out a lot of terrible shots that he used to take in his rookie year. And, those threes are coming, and like he'll hit waves where he'll make those shots, and I think his defense fuels his offense. And I think I've said that on repeat. Like I'll say that almost every game. His intensity on defense, where he got those steals, where he gets those transition buckets, really ignites himself more than anything. It ignites Tiger Center, but it ignites himself to like say, "Oh, this is my time to take over." And then he gets that oop, and then he gets that other dunk, and then he gets that other 3. It's like fucking hell yeah, like that. That is going to be like Curry-like when Curry's on and he's just doing nothing but stripping, making swishes like left and right. Like this is Ant. This is Ant's time. It's remarkable. We were so lucky to have him.
Yeah, and I agree with 2 of our OGs, our Twitch OGs in chat. So one, JJ says Ant's driving and step back 3 ritual can get old late game 100%. And then JBX says it's been a massive week, Miami, Charlotte, Philly in a matter of days, and Ant puts it in another gear when we get into these moments that we really need it.
Yeah, that's a great point.
And I think both of those points are true. Both one positive, one more negative, but I do think that Ant's ritual, like JJ says, of him doing that late game is very obviously going to happen all the time. I do think that there's been moments where he's capitalized on that, though. He has hit a couple step back 3s in huge late game situations. He has driven a little bit, but the drive does get a little less successful later game. But the third quarter is where Ant just shines. So I guess I'm in between now, an A and a B. Where are you right now?
I'm going to stay at my B level because I think we can kind of expect this as like a routine from Ant.
This is true.
And if he had a higher efficiency, went to the line more, made his layups, took over for a longer stretch than just like a blip here and there, it would be potentially A1 for sure.
I think
he is so reliable defensively that it's just like, this is his standard now. And it's kind of insane to like kind of just state out loud. 2nd-year player, tons of room to grow. His ceiling is like through the roof right now, right? And so
20 years old. Yeah.
20 years old, yeah.
Pretty wild. So I put him in B, high B, because he had such crucial moments, but I totally agree with your points. He needs to be like this the whole game, and I agree. So next up, let's do maybe Josh Okogie. Is that fair?
Yeah, let's do it.
All right. So chat, get your grades in for Josh Okogie.
Yeah.
I'll read his stats off real quick, and then we'll do a 3-2-1. So, 2 points.
Nice. 2 block shots.
2 block shots, 2 steals.
Yeah.
3 rebounds, 4 assists. Kind of a weird stat line for Josh. He was 1 of 4 shooting. I guess I'm glad he didn't take more than 4 shots. And then obviously the crucial block at the end of the game. You ready to 3-2-1?
Yeah.
All right. 3, 2, 1. B.
Oh. I would actually even say A1 because like we are not winning this game without him. He is, not shot ready, but he's game ready, right? He comes to play and he plays with that intensity that from the jump. And I missed the first half, but like that second half effort was memorable.
Yeah.
From Josh Okogie. Those blocks were insane. Those are game sealing blocks.
Yeah.
Like game sealing, the rebounds that he got were game sealing for sure. Towards the end of the game. And he didn't really hurt us offensively. He's kind of like Vando, right? Like he's in that spot that Vando's trying to be in. They're kind of probably practicing those kind of spots for them. Mm-hmm. And he's only took 4 shots, 2 threes. He was forced to take a 3. He wasn't going to take that 3, but he was forced to because he was fucking wide as hell open, right? So like he's not hurting us because he's not trying to, take over the game like he used to offensively, where he would just drive like with reckless abandon, like Corey Brewer and Tom Thibodeau would love that, right? I don't know. It's like so stupid. But he's a defensive juggernaut and it's fueling transition, and we have to find transition somewhere. And the Ant, the Okogies, the D-Lo pressure on ball, it's amazing. And I think usually we don't have like we miss our key defensive starter and we like are inept, right? Mm-hmm. We are plugging in a new player, old player, but new player, and we didn't lose a step. Like, what is this? Like, what is this version of the Timberwolves that we're watching? It's insane.
Yeah, I think I was maybe too low. It was a quick, rash reaction. I was reading his stats and forgetting about the actual plays that he made throughout the game. Lots of key plays by him. And defensively, this was the kind of the Josh Okogie that we were really excited for, especially in his first few years. This is the Josh that we were like, we're going to throw this Josh Okogie out there when we have James Harden, we have Kevin Durant, maybe not Kevin Durant, but like the top like offensive player on the team that's maybe a wing or a guard. We were excited for that, and we got that tonight. So I think I am wrong with my B. Are we thinking A? A lot of people are. I mean, Headshot wants to give him an A1.
Yeah, I think A.
A?
I don't think it's the block was memorable as fuck, but like
I think if he makes that 3 end a game, it's A1.
Yeah, probably.
Because then that's like huge clutch in a huge moment, and he had the crazy block too. Like that's just like crazy. So
yeah,
I've gone all the way from a B to almost an A1, but I think it's A tonight. Sorry, Josh. Maybe we might get an A1 later. We'll have to stay tuned, I guess.
Yeah, A1 if he got us tickets to this game,
Yes, exactly. I want tickets to a winning game from Josh,
and probably a season high 33 minutes for him. Like that's no joke. From not playing to 33 minutes, that's something, right?
Yeah. By the way, JBX asked, "Why does my dog have to wear a cone of shame?" How can you even see my dog right now? But he
should get a dog cam.
Yeah, we should get a dog cam. I wonder, can we see him? Dog cam.
Oh yeah, I saw him just then.
There he is. Theo. Oh, his ears went up. That's it. Sorry. No more dog cam. He's got allergies or something. His feet are getting really raw and he keeps licking them until they bleed.
Oh no.
Maybe he's just really nervous during Wolves games. I don't know. But he's been doing that for like a month or 2 now. And so we took him to the vet today and he has to wear a cone. He's been wearing a cone for like a week. So anyways. Wow. All right, Josh Okogie, A tonight. And we are on to we're on to Karl Anthony Towns and D'Angelo Russell. Who do we want to do first?
Let's do Cat.
Cat. Okay, and before we do Cat, got to get some more likes in the chat. If you haven't already liked the stream, go ahead and like it. But we're on the Cat. Get your grades in for Cat in the chat. All right, interesting game from Cat. 32 points, 8 rebounds. Yeah. Super good beginning to the game again for Cat. Dominating in the post, weirdly. Another great shooting night for Cat. Above 50%, almost 60% again. Only 4 threes taken tonight from Towns. Got to the line way more than he has previously. He was a negative 13 on the plus minus, though. And that was a lot of late game opposite of heroics. So, all right, before we get, I guess, too deep into his individual plays and such, let's do a 3-2-1. Are you ready?
Yeah.
Okay. This is going to be a really interesting one because
I think so.
It's weird. Okay. All right. 3.
Yeah.
2, 1.
Here comes 1.
B.
C.
Okay. Closer. I think
you said B and I said C.
Yeah, so pretty close.
For the record.
Yes. I would say my reasoning behind a B is just because of how good the beginning game was. Now,
Yep.
at the same time, I am still so frustrated by the things that he continues to do wrong that C is almost justified. Because, I mean, sure, he played great in the first and he really was taking over the game. I mean, we weren't up in the first quarter, but, like there was a lot of good plays happening by Towns where he was posting up against smaller players and successfully, like 2 or 3 times in a row, not hitting that offensive foul where he puts his elbow up. He was using the correct technique. And then after two or three of those plays, he does the same thing, gets doubled, does an over the back, behind the back, no look pass right to an Indiana defender, right to them. And sure, that's just one play, but we have seen this over and over and over with Towns. How many times do we need to see this, or how many times does he have to do that in order to stop doing it? But I think Towns just had a great night. He hit that crazy clutch last second shot that should not have been a last second shot with like 3 minutes to go in the game. Fouled himself out, which is also super painful. I think both Ashwin and I are pretty close to correct here. I think a lot of people are saying C in the chat. What do you have to say, Ashwin?
Yeah. There was a lot of good that happened in the third quarter, but let's start with some of the bad from my end. The fourth quarter stats. He played 4 minutes in that fourth quarter. 3 turnovers, 2 fouls, 2 points, -4. 2 points from our $30 million man. Our highest production was Malik Beasley with 6, Naz Reid with 6. What the fuck is that? Right? What the fuck is that? Cat needs to be better in those kind of games where a 3 by Duarte that's not ejected, or Brogdon, or like a couple putbacks by Sabonis, and our game is done. He needs to be out there. Like it's unsatisfactory. It is not good enough.
That is true.
What is good enough though? You okay?
Yeah, I was gonna say to your point about being unsatisfactory. This is also a game in which you absolutely cannot foul out because you don't have Vando, you don't have Jaden. Not that they're bigs, but like you're left with only Naz, and Naz is somewhat a foul machine at times. So you just can't have that happen. Then we're relying on Nathan Knight in a game that could put us above 500 and really get us going on maybe some other win streak. This is just not play that we can have. I know we're being harsh on a player that has 32 points and 8 rebounds, but as you guys know that have been watching us all season and last season, like we see the same stuff from Towns, and it seems like very little is learned. In the beginning, JJ in chat will kind of maybe speak to this. In the very beginning of Towns' career as a Minnesota Timberwolf, every year there was a new tool out of his toolbox. And sure, that's cringy. That's a very cringy thing to say, but it was correct. Every year he came back with something new. Wiggins was doing the same thing. They all came back and improved on something, and it has stopped. I'm not saying that he has to be the perfect player, but these are egregious mistakes that are so easily controllable that it needs to stop. And it's a miracle we won this game, given he put himself out of the game with 3 or 2.5 minutes left in a 2-point game.
Yeah. So by his first quarter and fourth quarter stats alone, he'd be one of the worst players on the floor. But he's clearly one of the better players, if not the best player on the floor on any given night, right? Just want to say that. Let's talk about his second quarter. 12 points, 2 rebounds, which that's maybe light, but 6 for 9 from the field. He was literally unguardable, unstoppable from the paint. He only took 1 3, and that's because his shot wasn't falling from 3. I think he was like almost 100% from the paint, and that it's like it was like, let's just own these players who are down a big dude, down one of their defensive stalwarts. Just take it to him, and he was doing it with ease. Why was everything so complicated in the fourth quarter? Let's talk about his third quarter, right? 16 fucking points in the third quarter. 5 for 7 from the field. He went to the line in the third quarter 8 fucking times. Why did this shift change? Why was he like, oh, Sabonis got 5 fouls? Let's be really, really fucking the opposite of what we were. It was so terrible. He choked away this game, and it was hard to watch because we had D'Lo just sitting there. We had Ant just sitting there waiting for their turn, and it was like we were just force feeding Cat into these terrible possessions left and right.
Yeah.
So he had an A tier type performance until that fourth quarter, and it dropped him all the way to a C. And I am going to be his biggest critic because we are expecting fucking greatness out of him, and we are trying to be a play-in team.
Yeah.
A play-in team. That's all we're trying to be.
And also right now with the West the way it is, and the way that we've been playing even through some of these issues that we're talking about with Towns, I mean, I know this sounds crazy, and I know somebody's going to clip this, and we're going to go back at the end of the year and laugh at me.
It's all right.
But,
yeah, that's fine.
There is a legitimate shot that we could be a top 4 team in the West. Yeah. I'm not saying that it's going to happen or that I believe that it's going to happen, but it is certainly possible. I mean, with the way the West is, I mean, how many games? We're in the 6th seed right now, given we're only a quarter of the way, a quarter of the way through the season. But we're only 2.5 games back of the 3 seed, which is the Utah Jazz, and that's a very beatable team. I'm not saying that they're bad, totally. But as a 3 seed, we can beat them. So now the expectations are higher. And that's for everybody, but it's especially for your star players. So Ant struggling with these first half nothingness, that's a big problem. Towns having these same issues night after night is a huge problem because we're now at the point where we're playing well enough that we can be critical of the everything, and to give these players a little bit of slack, they have not been good basically their entire careers. I mean, Ant is new still, so that's why I give, I guess, Ant a little bit more slack. I don't really want to be too tough on him just because it is only his 2nd year and he's 20. But Towns deserves the criticism. D'Lo deserves criticism, but man, D'Lo's been great. But we'll get to D'Lo in a second. But if D'Lo was still taking and missing all the shots that he was in the beginning of the season, we'd be hard on him because that's what we can't have happen right now. So, yeah, we're going to be hard on these players because guess what? There's a chance we could have home court in the playoffs. Just saying.
What the hell? What the hell? That's crazy.
Mm-hmm. Casper, welcome to the chat.
What up, Casper?
Feel like he's just so iffy in the post? Yeah, for sure. I mean, tonight he was actually pretty good in the post. Like Ashwin was saying, I think he was 6 of 9 or something like that. Side note, the score was 69-69 at a point tonight. Shout out CJ0. He was great in the post for the most part tonight, which is not something we normally expect from Towns.
Yeah, totally.
But
I'm glad he saw the matchups and kind of reveled in what he wants to be, which is awesome.
Yep.
We need him in the post. We need to be honest down there.
Mm-hmm.
It's crazy, yeah. And his 3-ball wasn't falling tonight, and he recognized that. And maybe he was a little hampered. His finger or his shoulder, it looked like he was hurting, and he was still giving us quite a bit. But that 4th quarter, man, it's something to rewatch and sit down with coaches and sit down with fucking X's and O's coaches and just saying what the hell is this and when can we and how can we fix this in between games, because this can't be on repeat, because he's fouled out 2 in the last 3 or 4 games now.
Yeah.
And we can't rely on him if that's what's going to happen late in games. It's sometimes is the ref's fault. I get it, but you're not getting the contact for a reason. Just shut up, man. Play until you get that call. You were saying all the right things, but your play is effectively contradictory to what you're saying.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, all the hate for Sabonis in the chat.
Oh.
By the way, Sabonis had a triple-double and he had 25 rebounds.
What? He had a triple-double?
Right? I think so.
Wow. Well, he was crazy. He was pretty good out there. I don't know. He just knows what he does. He does. I don't want to try this. Let's just. I want to move on.
That's okay.
I'm mad. I'm mad about Cat right now, but we won, and it's okay.
You've convinced me yet again. I think it's C tier.
Yeah.
All right. Well, we're on to the last player, right? The last player of the night?
And
D'Angelo Russell.
Yeah. One of the better players tonight, in my opinion.
Get your grades in, chat. Definitely one of the better players. He almost had a triple-double tonight. 21 points, 11 assists, 8 rebounds. Okay shooting night for him. He was able to get a little bit to the line. What is his name? Wubio, the Cocker Spaniel?
Yeah.
Nice name.
Wiki Wubio.
Yeah.
All right, ready? 3.
Yeah.
2. 1.
A. Oh my goodness. Okay. I say A. So my reasoning behind A is obviously, he was there all over the court tonight, getting rebounds, setting up people for assists. I think for me, the big plus was, and where I might actually, one reason I might be able to be convinced down to a B is, just the shooting. We needed a little bit more shooting. He only hit 3 of 9 threes tonight. I would have loved to see some more threes go down, and then I'd be very firm in saying it's an A. But I just think he was all over tonight. He had 1 steal. Defensively, he was still there tonight. And maybe it wasn't like his perfect performance, but it's still the D low. We've got defense low here. So
I like it.
I was just pretty happy with his game. I think coming off of the Philly game, I expected him to have kind of a bad game just because of how good the Philly game was. He was clutch. He made 2 clutch free throws, as we're about to see here at the end of the game. And I just don't have that many bad things to say about him.
He played the entire fourth quarter, first of all. He only took the shots that he did at the end of the game, and he made, I think he missed a couple shots early, and then he didn't really take anything until the end when it mattered. He realized that I think that we couldn't find our own shot. I think Ant was not really aggressive enough. And he had 3 assists. He had 6 points in that quarter. And those assists led to basically, game ending buckets. Like the way that we performed in that fourth quarter was not like optimal, but we didn't have our optimal lineup out there anyways. And we grounded out a win. And it was because of his leadership, because we don't have any like coaches on the floor, like Beverly, like Vando kind of can be, right? We have to rely on some of our others, and D'Lo has taken a step forward as the coach on the floor.
Yes,
right. He has done that, and he's like yelling at his players to say, "Hey, this is where you need to be. This is where you got to be." And he's taken upon himself to be what we need him to be. The low post defender, he's there apparently. The box out guy, he's there apparently.
He is,
and like his defense has really been maybe the biggest like X factor in this version of the Timberwolves, because we weren't expecting literally anything defensively from him. And boy, he's like, telling all of us to eat crow.
He is. It's just been, I mean, the start of the season was definitely nerve-wracking for me for D'Lo, because I was nervous that, maybe we got this hyped up player that I've seen highlights of, but I've never seen actual like full on games of. And I was like, man, is he just somebody that can occasionally make like a clutch 3? Yeah. No, he's turning out to be one of my favorite players to go and see at Target Center right now.
Totally, man.
And that's saying something, especially with Ant on the team. It's crazy to see, but I'm in love with the possibilities of our big 3. Because it's just a very well balanced system. So
I remember last year when after the trade deadline went down, the trade went down, and like we got Finch and whatever, we were finally kind of healthy for like a string of like 2 or 3 games. I remember saying you can close your eyes, you can kind of see the potential like version of this team. Mm-hmm. I did not see this version of the team coming.
Yeah,
and it is literally, as JJ says, all credit to him. Like he has found himself in like a new version of what he needs to be as a superstar in this league. He doesn't need to be always on offensively, because we have Cat and Ant to rely on. We have like a potential Beasley could go off for like 20 if he needs to be. He doesn't have to, but when the game is on the line, when we feel like like kind of like this is weird to say as a comparison, but like Chris Paul, I remember that game versus Phoenix, he had like 4 points going into the fourth quarter, like going into like midway through the fourth quarter, and then he ended up with like 16 or something, because it's just like, okay, the time is Tom where I need to take over the game right now. Yep. And then Chris Paul did, and they won. Like D'Lo set it upon himself to do that. He didn't get like the 16 points in the quarter or whatever.
Yeah.
But he did that last game. Like, holy shit, that was ridiculous.
Exactly.
And it's like, it's insane. And seeing that and kind of trickling into this game in a different manner, but similar defensively, is like, that's a sustainable D'Lo right there.
Yeah.
That is something that we can rely on moving forward.
Yeah, and the thing with D'Lo is that, like, you're right, he has been taking over these situations kind of like Chris Paul. Now the only and I'm not gonna pick on your comparison, because I do like that comparison. The thing that I want from D'Lo going forward is I want these takeover shots to be a little easier. He's making some shots that he has no business making. Now, like some of the threes that he was making against Philly was like, I mean, these are incredible, and I'm jumping out of my seat because you're making it, but it's a no, yes kind of situation, because you're doubled and you're making like a step back 3 with like 5 seconds to go in overtime. And like tonight, he had a running layup where he he got in, he made it, but it was like stressful. At least from my angle, it looked like a crazy off balance shot. And it's like, I would much rather have some of those, even like step back twos where it's 1-on-1. You've got like one defender, not two. But hey, I'm not going to complain because he's making these shots right now and it's winning us games. So if that's how it is, and I know that that's kind of how D'Lo is, I'll take it. I don't care if he's able to make shots like that, then I have all the confidence going into the playoffs.
And like, I don't know, late game situations, I'm not trusting the ISO shit yet, but I'm trusting who's going to probably end up taking the shots. And I'm trusting like the offense kind of not efficiently, but effectively getting shots up, and defensive carrying us to those potential, game-winning possessions. When it matters, we were losing games down 5. We still don't know how to close games. We are still learning how to close games like this. We were learning how to fucking close a game like this. That's coming in time. We can peak when we need a peak. And it's incredible that we're seeing this effort nonstop from D'Lo.
Have you
on both ends?
Have you come up from a B to an A or no?
Yeah, I have.
Okay, perfect. I think we both did a fair amount of compromising tonight.
Yeah, I think we weren't really sure coming into tonight.
Yeah.
And we got to thank chat for setting us straight.
We do, and I appreciate you, chat. We were just over 20 viewers, so give yourself a round of applause. It flexes, goes up and down, but I appreciate you all. Godfrey's even here. We got Rubio here, headshot as always.
Well,
Jake Erickson. Almost triple-double-o. I like that. But yeah, there is the tier list for tonight. So, fun night. A little scary of a night. But, we made it. We won. Yeah. We're over 500.
What the hell?
Pretty wild. Unrelated, but we get in that Discord link tonight. 6 cents. Not yet. Me and Ashwin have to do some behind-the-scenes things. We've got a mess of a Discord right now. So, before we let people in, it would be a mess, but it is happening. If you want it, follow us on Twitter because that's where we're going to announce it. We'll announce it here too. But whenever we have that ready, let us know what you want from a Discord as well. If you want any like bots, we have like a stat spot in there right now that I don't even know how to use. We've got like Woj
Top
tweets.
Shot bot.
The Top Shot bot probably needs to go. But yeah, let us know what you want in the chat or on Twitter or whatever. And we'll let you guys know because we're probably gonna need help, but we'll let you know once we get there. But yeah, any look at Twitter mentions real quick. Okay. Let's see what's going on. Jake's graph. Oh man. Okay, let's pull up Twitter real quick. Actually,
sure, let's do it.
Because there's
share the screen.
I will. I actually did that. Even though we ran out of time, I did it. Let's see. Pull it up. Oops, let me close
Jack
the highlights.
goes, "We the ones, Jack."
We are the ones.
Ant is quotable, and he's giving us good things to say. Like, we're basically kind of parroting him, but it's fun to say those things because he's giving us fun anecdotes to say. And I don't know.
Yes, he is.
The vibe on the team is great. It's very like contagious. Like everyone's kind of vibing up each other and playing for each other. It's really fun. Even that ant ooped cat was fun to see. Like you never really would have seen that coming. What is that?
What are we looking at?
The Jackson 5. The one Jackson 5. Is that what that is?
Oh, I like that. I can get on board with that. Oh man, how about that? Jake's graph is always so quick with these things. It's incredible. I am always amazed by what he does. Sorry, I'm moving our faces all over the place.
We don't need our faces. Thank you for that though.
But yes, wow, that's incredible. There was something else I wanted to see on Twitter. I don't know if I still have it or not, but let's see.
Actually, I don't know who that is.
Oh, here. Yeah. So Kyle Tiggy of I think that's how you say his last name. I'm not even sure.
Yeah,
from Canis Hoopus. Right. He says the Timberwolves should fine the NBA $250,000 for only getting one true nationally televised game. See, This is true. Now, also, I think that we're good enough that it's going to change things. I think that they're going to change games around, get us in, even if it's just NBA TV, which sucks. But if they put it on NBA TV, maybe. But yeah, no, I think that would be nice to get us some national time, get our guys a chance to kind of prove themselves. But yes, all right. Well,
Cool, man.
I
I've run out of steam, run out of gas here, but
I have to, and I work tomorrow morning. So
yeah.
all right. Well, I appreciate everybody for showing up in chat. If you haven't already, like the stream. I know you probably already have.
Godfrey and VBA TV doesn't count.
It doesn't, because they stretch the ratio and it drives me insane.
Yeah, totally.
But yeah, fun game. Glad to be back in Target Center tonight. I'm glad to see that you guys showed up, even though I was 30 minutes, 40 minutes late. So I appreciate that.
Yeah, it's incredible.
We've got lots of good Wolves content to go around, so it's not like we have to fight anyone else for content. So Timberwolves Daily gets to go first. We'll go second. You know,
I love it.
We got it all. So we got even people like Jelson out there who interviewed Dave Benz on his show.
Whoa, that's
Shout
crazy.
out Jelson. But yeah, we got to get Dave Benz on here maybe sometime. Who knows?
Sure.
But
turbulence, man.
Turbulence. Anyways, I'm gonna stop rambling on. We will see you on, what is the next game?
Oh yeah, Rob Perez was like, boy, those Timberwolves are fun.
He did, and we need that press, and we need to continue to play well during this.
Yeah, I think Adam Silver follows Rob Perez. Maybe we can like get some little Adam Silver love here.
Hey, there we
go. Let's go Wednesday. I think Wednesday's our next game. So December
Wednesday
1st.
Wizards. Yes, headshot. You're right. So Wednesday Wizards.
Max Exer is going to be conflicted.
Yeah, he will be a little conflicted. However, he's more of a Russell Westbrook fan, so I think he's I think he's still a Wizards fan, but I think he was more of a Russ fan. So, anyways, they're playing decent this year. Actually they're playing better than us. They're playing 13-8. And then we play the Nets on Friday. So we got a couple good matchups coming up, both away games. Back in Target Center on Monday. We will be live both for Wednesday and Friday's game. At least I will. I can't remember if you are or not. Doesn't either way. We'll be here. Somebody will be here. But anyways, all right. I really am done blabbing on now. See you Wednesday after the game. Did you have something to say, Ashwin?
Apparently, Ant answered his phone during the press conference.
Something about a flip phone or something? I don't even know.
I'm good.
I got to go catch up on Twitter. See you guys all on Wednesday night. Earlier game on Wednesday. It's a 6 p.m. game. So keep an eye out on that.
Hey, shout out to all of you guys. Thank you so much for being here.
Yeah.
We'll see you guys then.
Appreciate you all. Intro is the outro. Goodbye.
Bye. And bye to you.